Hello, hello. So, one of the most important topics out there is opportunity cost. And opportunity cost is something we don't take sufficiently into account. We don't take it into account when it comes to our financial decision making, and we don't take it into account when it comes to time. Maybe we're slightly better with time than with money. So, what is opportunity cost? Every time we buy a cup of coffee, we will not be able to use the money for something else. But the reality is that people have a very hard time thinking about opportunity cost. For example, a few years ago, I went to a Toyota dealership and I asked people, I said, look, if you go ahead and buy this Toyota, you would not be able to do something else. What is this thing that you would not be able to do? Now, these people had an offer to buy a car for a particular amount. They knew the cost, they knew everything, but they had no answer. So I don't know. I said, look, give me something. You have to give something up. You're going to spend this amount of money. What will give up? What would you give up? And most people told me if I buy this Toyota, I can't be a Honda. I can't buy a Honda, which of course is technically correct, but that's not what I was hoping for. I was hoping that people would say this would come at the expense of 2 weeks of vacation for the next 3 years and 70 books and 3 times a year going to a restaurant. And what's the opportunity cost? So it turns out we don't think about opportunity cost very well. And it's a huge reason why we make mistakes with money because we don't think about opportunity cost. What about opportunity cost for time? That's also true. We look at our calendar, and tomorrow we're very, very busy. So if somebody asks us to meet them, we say, oh, we can't. We have lots of constraints. But if I asked you, meet me in a year, you would say, oh, I have nothing but time. Look at my calendar in a year. No, no, no. Next year, you'll be just as busy as today. But you don't think about the opportunity cost. You don't think about all the other things that um, you might be doing. So, so what does it mean? It means that if we want to think better, we have to think about opportunity cost of time and of money. And who, might you guess, uses opportunity cost in the worst possible way? You got it. Bureaucracy. Why? Because bureaucracy is all about the process and not about optimizing anything. So, for example, in my lab, in about October, many people in the lab said, we want to do a Duke course on AI. We want to improve our skills in AI. And I think about any investment in people's ability and quality, human capital, as a worthwhile investment. It's not a cost, it's an investment. And thankfully, I have discretionary funds, and I think the course was about $5,000 per person, and it's going to Duke. It's going to another department than Duke. Everybody wins. So it was about October, and I said, let's go for it. Let's get everybody who wants to take this course, take it. And even if you're not sure, take it. Getting people to be better trained, to do more courses, all good investment. Guess what? It took a while to get this permission to spend my discretionary funding on this thing. And it was a good idea to do it in October because November and December are kind of slower time. People have more free time. They could spend more time on this and so on. I didn't want to delay it to January where there's a lot of demands on people time. Guess what? It took about 5 months to be approved. By the time it was approved, we missed the October, November, December timeline. We were into a very hectic problem. And what's the point? The point is that people's time is valuable. If they have some time that is not as utilized well, let them study something. But if you focus too much just on the cost of the course and the procedure, and it takes you 5 months, we missed a lot. At the end of the day, I think the course is good. I'm happy people are taking it. But the amount of what is called dead weight loss, the amount of loss we had because we delayed it by 5 months and people could not take the course when it was the right time for them, is just a shame. So, what is the point? We all need to think about opportunity cost of money. We all need to think about opportunity cost of time. These are important things. And I would love for bureaucracy to somehow integrate those. Say, oh, you know what? This will take you such a long time that it's just not the right procedure. Let's do something else. Very hard for bureaucracy to do that, but really, really important. Because without thinking about opportunity cost, we can't make good decisions. Not with time and not with money, and not with things like this course that involve both time and money. So, to better thinking and less bureaucracy. Bye.